Guys. So I'm going to be talking about Squarespace SEO. I know that when I was switching to Squarespace, the most common questions that I got was about the SEO. Um, it seems like on Squarespace there's not as many options to control your search engine optimization as compared to like WordPress. Um, but I completely disagree. I think that it's actually easier to control that SEO or the SEO settings and like configuration because it's all built into Squarespace for you. You don't have to install any plugins or like learn how to use a totally new tool. It's all already built in for you. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, this video is a part of a blog post, so I will link to that down below where I go into a little more detail about SEO and like how to edit the settings. But right now, I'm going to show you how to optimize your SEO on your pages and on your photographs that you're adding to your site. So if you are reading this in the blog post, this is kind of how you do it a little more in depth. So I'm going to screen share my back end of Squarespace with you guys. So that way I can kind of show you what's going on. Okay, so over here on your menu, you want to go to Pages. And all of your pages, when you hover over it, has a little gear icon. When you click on that, it opens up the settings for that page. Now, every page has an area for a description. This description is what Google is looking for when they are crawling your pages. So having a description on every single page will greatly increase your search engine optimization because Google knows that you are a legit website. You aren't just a site that like threw up a couple of pages and threw some content on there and then you're done. By doing this, Google knows what your page is about and they know how to help their users find you. So this is for my about page. So I might say something like, Nora Conrad is the owner and blogger at noraconrad.com. You can really type anything you want. The idea is to use some keywords that kind of describe your page. So words like about me, putting my name in there, Nora Conrad, noraconrad.com, things that people might be searching for that I would want my about page to come up if they were looking for my name. So it doesn't have to be long. You don't want to just throw in a bunch of keywords and not have it make sense. It should be like complete sentences because Google will know if you are like just trying to get your page up towards the top by just using keywords. So you want to write it for people who are looking for your site. Don't write it for the search engine, write it for your users. So I have quite a few pages, so this would be a little bit of time to do all of this. But I already filled in a lot of this stuff. So you just want to go through and add a description to all of these. Also, keep in mind that your navigation title is what shows up in the navigation right here. But the page title is what shows up on Google searches. So if you named your navigation title your name, like if I named it Talk to Me or something, Talk to Me might not be as searched as a contact page. So if someone's trying to find your contact page, they're not going to look for Nora Conrad Talk to Me. They're going to look for Nora Conrad contact page. So make sure that your page title is something that someone would actually search for. Your navigation title can be as creative and as strange as you want, but make sure to use some normal search engine language as your page title. Okay, so that's a little bit about pages. Now I want to go into images. Let's go into, we'll use this blog post as my example. Sorry if I sound a bit nasally. I'm still trying to get over this cold. Okay, so right here, this is the picture that I used for the beginning of my blog post. So Google has no way of knowing what your image says. So this text is like part of the image. Google can't read this. So you have to give it a little more information so that way Google knows what that image is. So if I go into edit, the first thing that you want to do is, and I didn't do it, oh my goodness, is give it a file name, something that's descriptive. So my blog post is called Projects with Asana, or How to Use Asana for Projects. I want to name my image something that tells Google that that is what this image is. So how to use Asana for projects. That's going to be the file name. So that way, when someone Googles how to use Asana for projects, Google will find this image and it will show up. So I'm going to hit save on that. The other thing that you want to do is add a caption. So let me go back into the edit here. When you first upload an image, you want to choose right here, caption below. This will give you a little text box where you can type in the caption. If someone pins this image, oh, my cat and dog are fighting. If someone pins this image, the caption is what will be auto-filled into that pinned description. So you want to write it as if someone else wrote the pinned description for you. So I wrote how to use Asana for your own projects, team projects, or planning, a step-by-step guide and tips. Now, I don't want people who come to this blog post to be able to see that because it just looks messy and they already know what the blog post is about because of this image. So once you type that in, you want to go back into the photo and choose Do Not Display Caption. That will still keep the caption there. As you can see, it's still here. But when you actually view the blog post, let's let it refresh, the caption will not show up. So it's still keeping those settings in there, but it's not going to mess with your actual image. The other thing that you can do to help your images be more searchable is by having the text near it be a little bit about the image. So the first thing I talked about in this blog post is what Asana is and how you can use it to create projects. That way, when Google is crawling this page and looking for this information, the closest text to this image is what they're going to relate the image to. So I wouldn't want to put this image and then start by talking about my week, like what's going on in my life. I want to have this be as close as possible to the text describing that image. All right, so let's switch back here. Those are kind of the basics. When you think about it on WordPress, you're doing the same thing. The caption is kind of like alt tags or the alternative text. It's doing the exact same thing. Squarespace just words things a little differently, and the way that you add that information is a little different. But everything that you are doing on WordPress to increase your search engine optimization, Squarespace does either for you because of the hosting, or you can add that stuff yourself. So if you wanted to go more into the settings and things like that, I talk about it a little more in the blog post. But if you guys have any questions, if you have something that you're doing on WordPress and you don't know how to transfer that to Squarespace, just let me know in the comments. I will look it up if I have to and figure it out for you. But I just want to kind of make it clear that by switching to Squarespace, you're not going to be messing up your rank in a search engine. Your site will still be the same. As long as you're writing great content, you don't have a bunch of like ads and scammy links, and you're not like posting a page with like a couple of sentences on it, Google is going to like your site. And one of the biggest changes that Google has made in search engine optimization is that if your website is not mobile responsive, your ranking goes way down. And the best thing about Squarespace is that every single website you create is mobile responsive. And you can even edit that further to make your like mobile website a different design, different colors. You have different options to edit your mobile site, or you can just leave it and it will automatically be mobile optimized for you. So I think Squarespace is better for SEO just because you don't have to do as much heavy lifting. You don't have to install tools and research how to use certain plugins. But it's really all about what you need for your website. So again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I will be happy to help you out. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.